Hey guys, so I just finished watching the Aladdin movie, guys, at the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood. And I have to start off by saying that I'm pretty thoroughly impressed. I am. I'm surprised because I'm not really a big fan of CGI movies, right? And I'm going to eat my chicken quesadilla while I do this movie review. I'm not going to take that long either to do this movie review, but I was surprised. I was surprised because it did have CGI in it, but I mean, it has to. It's a Disney movie, right? And it's a magical movie. Like, I don't know who has seen Aladdin, the original movie that came out in 1992. Throwback, you guys. That's like my favorite childhood movie, y'all. The bomb, man. When I say, like, I was a huge fan of Aladdin back in the day, y'all. My whole entire room was decked out in Aladdin. To my bedspread, my wall was painted purple. I'm talking about I had the poster. I had everything Aladdin in my room, y'all. Huge fan. And then me going to see the movie as an adult, the live action movie, it reminded me of why I was such a fan of this movie. So I'm like, that's why. I mean, the fact that it's a love story, number one. Comment below if you guys seen the movie. I'm gonna try not to give it away. Try to give too many spoilers away about the movie, but it's a love story, and it's nothing like a good ass love story, y'all. I mean, it's set in this magical place. I'm talking about a princess trying to find her prince, you know, and I just love stories like that. But yeah, I can see how as a child growing up, I was like infatuated with this story, man. I talk about I watched this movie so many times. I had the VHS back in the day. Y'all modern day people don't know nothing about it, but back in the day, we had VHS tapes, and y'all, I had that thing on repeat. So, what I really liked about the movie, though, is that it was true to the original story. So, you know, like, when I was a child, being that I watched it so many times, I knew every line, word from word. I knew all the songs. Like, I knew the movie like the back of my hand, y'all. But it's been a long time. I'm talking about, the movie came out, the original one came out in 1992. And we are already in 2019, like so many years ago. When the first one came out, I was like 9 years old. Damn, I'm 35. So that goes to show you, y'all, this thing go way back. So I like that the fact that the remake was true to the original one. Like, I can sit up here and like I'm watching the remake and I'm just like listening to the songs and looking at the storyline and how it progresses. I'm like, it took me back when I was a kid. I was just like, this is so sweet. It was so magical. I immediately got immersed into the story. I like how the first scene opened with Will Smith, y'all. I'm like, okay, you know, he plays the genie. But I got some things to say about Will Smith, his character in the movie. I'm just like, hold up. What is this about? What is this? And you can tell that it had to have like this modern day flavor to it, because, you know, we all about cultural diversity and promoting, you know, the LBGT thing, you know, the movement. The LBGT movement is pretty powerful now. And of course, this is Hollywood. So it's like I was surprised, but I wasn't surprised to see that Will Smith's character, y'all, he got some sugar in his tank. And I'm thinking back like to the original genie that was in the original movie. I don't remember him having no sugar in his tank. I know he was plump, but he did not have no sugar in his tank, y'all. So I'm looking at, you know, Will Smith played this character, the genie, in the remake, and like, I mean, part of it is kind of funny, but part of it is just like, what are they doing, y'all? Now, I don't want to give too much of the movie away, but yeah, he has some kind of homosexual swag to him in this movie, and certain scenes, it kind of like, it was funny, I think, because a lot of people who I can identify, I guess, with the LGBT lifestyle, they can identify with certain aspects of Will Smith's character when he played this genie, like how he relates to Aladdin in the movie. It's just, I think their relationship, it's much similar, very similar to how it was in the first one, but I think it's just like looking at it in the context of our society now, and you know how this whole LGBT thing is taking off, and you see a lot of same-sex relationships amongst men. The whole thing about the bros, you know, it's like they really had a tight-knit relationship in this movie. So there's a scene where Will Smith is like positioned kind of between Aladdin's legs in a way. Like he's kneeling down and he's like facing Aladdin like head on. And I mean, on a subconscious level, one can easily interpret that as like he was attempting to give him some fellatio. Now, I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, but I'm just saying visually, that's pretty much what you see on screen. And then there's a later scene, y'all, where Will Smith, the genie, this is what I think they were in the palace, and he has on makeup. And I'm just like, okay, this ain't no subliminal message. This is very clear that he's portraying, you know, he has like a feminine qualities to him. He has on makeup, definitely has on like blaring red lipstick. You know, he's like, has feminine, you know, mannerisms and stuff. And I'm just like, okay. And it's funny because like those moments when he was getting like more into his femininity in the movie, you can see, you know, the reaction of a lot of people in the theater. They were laughing, like they loved it. You know, y'all know white people love that. So they were just like all cracking up, just like, ooh, like a lot of oohs and ahs and stuff. And my face is just sitting there just like, wow, Will Smith. I know he got paid pretty good for that one. But speaking of pay, like the budget for the remake was $183 million, y'all. Just like, dang, they already got 233. They made $233 million. It came out this past Friday, and the budget for the first one was only $28 million. So I just find it interesting how they go from a budget of $28 million when they made it back in 1992 to $183 million when they just released it this year. It's just like, that's a huge jump, $28 million to $183. And when they released it back in 1992 with the $28 million budget, they made some money. I think they made like over $500 million. Like, it was inking. So this, I mean, being that this is the first weekend, you know, of its release, and it already made $233 million, you know it's gonna take off. It's probably gonna go way past the sales for the first one, because they made $500 million on the first one. So I can see them coming very close to $1 billion for this second one, the remake. So speaking of that, considering that Will Smith acted somewhat out of his typical character, because we know he's a heterosexual man. You know, he's been married to Jada Pinkett. He has 2 children. It's like, he's a heterosexual man, but seeing that he kind of pushed the envelope in this one and stepped outside of his typical character and identity of who he is in real life, you know, they had to slide him something. You know, I'm like, I can see that. I can see like the whole meeting and how it probably went down in their production meetings. You know, they have their pre-production meetings and they're talking about the roles and reading over the script. And I bet you, like, they didn't have that written necessarily in the script, but when they started to talk about and flesh the script out and really talk about what the character's supposed to look like and feel like, and how they're supposed to be portrayed to the audience. I'm sure the director, he pushed Will Smith, was like, come on, man. Come on, give us a little homosexual flavor, because you think about it, when it comes to making money, and especially in Hollywood and LA, it's about appeal. You have to appeal to the audience who's going to go to the box office and support this movie, right? And considering you have a lot of gay people in LA, you guys, like, the numbers are up there. Those are the people that's going to see it. I mean, it's a family movie. Of course, kids are there in there too. Planning on seeing it soon. I think the budget was large. Maybe it was a digital technology. Well, you know, most of the budget went to CGI. You already know. And then editing, you know, like having to slice those pieces together. Because basically the CGI, that much of that takes place in post-production. So you have, you know, the actors are on set. They deliver their lines, you know. But a lot of that is kind of splicing the real action with the actors in real life to the CGI technology. So a lot of that, most CGI stuff, that happens in post-production. So yeah, most of the budget went to post-production. I mean, it's clear. But one thing I can say that I do like about this movie, because I'm not a big fan of CGI, but it wasn't necessarily, I mean, you know, there's no other way that the movie could have happened, like those scenes, you know, flying through the sky and jumping off. You know, like that can't happen in real life, right? So you know that some movie magic was made, but it's not apparent. You know, like you go to see some CGI movies, and just like, yeah, you can tell that shit fake. It looked very real, so I was really impressed. I was like, okay, kudos to y'all. Like, they did pretty good, and I mean, it's Disney, so you know they're gonna make sure that they put a lot of money into this movie to make sure that it's top quality. But I loved it. I mean, like I said, the storyline was true to the original storyline. I like that the princess, she was beautiful. I'm just like, she better be cute, because the first lady that came on screen, I thought was a princess. I was like, I know she ain't a princess. You got to be gorgeous. You got to be gorgeous to play the role of a princess. But yeah, she was very beautiful. Being that, you know, the whole theme is Arabian Nights, right? So we know, like, these are Arabs, right? But it kind of reminds me of that it should kind of take place like in Egypt. You know, it has like this African feel to it, but I mean, it's clear that it's Arabian. I'm just like, this can easily be African characters playing this, you know, like they can make an African version set in Egypt, and I think it would still make a lot of money, right? But like overall, I definitely give this movie 5 stars, and I don't give movies like complete 5 stars, but I'm not even a big fan of Disney movies. That's the thing. I'm not. I think Black Panther, that's Disney, right? Or it was Marvel. I'm not a big fan of those kind of movies, but honestly, I have to give this movie. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. And of course, I saw it at the El Capitan Theater out here in Hollywood. Beautiful theater. It's my first time actually going. I'm going to post some pictures after I end this video, so you guys can check out those pictures that I took. And they kind of have like it set up where you can see the costumes that were worn by the characters in the movie. You got to go downstairs to see them. I actually took pictures of the costumes. They have like the little genie thing that you can kind of touch and take pictures with, and it's really cool. It's a magical experience. So shout out to Disney, y'all did y'all thing there. And then kind of like me watching the movie, I swear I felt like I left reality and I went into this like make-believe world. The world that they create in this movie is totally believable. Like, you're gonna get sucked in and just like, wow. And it kind of reminded me, especially as a single woman, just like, you know your worth, girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, know what you worth. But I like how it has lessons in it, you know, because basically it was teaching us that this guy posed as if he was a prince, because he wanted to get with the princess. So he had this wish that one of his wishes that he wanted to become a prince, just so he can get in the palace and, you know, holler at old girl. And all that shit came back on him, came full circle. The truth came out that he wasn't a real prince. You know, he wasn't who he said he was, who he pretended to be. and he was just, you know, the poor man, like from the hood. And I like that it has that kind of positive message, because you got like guys that be sitting here trying to fake and get women knowing that they don't really measure up. That's how I think about my own life. Like, I love. But yeah, I love the story, man. I fell in love with the characters, and honestly, I think I might go see it again. I think it's worth it. They have it like in IMAX theater. I want to see it in 3D. I don't know if it's in 3D yet, but it would be cool if they actually had it in 3D. I can see them actually making a ride at Universal Studios, but that would be crossing the boundaries, right? Because this is Disney, so I don't know. Disney would have to partner with Universal to make that happen. To create a ride, like a simulated experience where you like ride on the red carpet like that. Man, that was just so cool. But I like the little monkey though. He's like one of the funniest characters in the movie. But yeah, Will Smith, he kind of took me. I was just like, dang, Will Smith, like get that money, boo boo. But damn. I don't think that many African Americans are gonna go see this movie though. I don't know. I mean, it's a Disney movie, so when people think Disney, they think children, right? But it's family, it's grown people that go see stuff like this. I know I had to, because this is a movie I was raised on. And so when I seen that they had made a remake, and I seen the advertisement for it out here in Hollywood, I was just like, I got to see this freaking movie. And I actually was out here when it did the red carpet world premiere. That was just the other day. I was taking pictures, and Will Smith was out here. Like, they go all out. You know how they got the budget for it. They go all out with it. But that made me wonder, like, who the hell fund these movies? Like, you know, they gotta have connections with the banks. Cause I mean, I know these major studios, they already got their own money, but I'm sure some of that is bank money that they using, they banking on. But kudos to them. I know they enjoying their fruits of their labor. It looked like it was like I say, a lot of work to develop the screenplay, and you know, the actors, they put in a lot of work. It's clear that, you know, they invested a lot in this movie, and I guess they deserve to get what they're getting in the box office. But yeah, I don't think that too many African Americans or black people are gonna go see it. And then if they do, y'all gonna be like, whoa, like your boy. I think women respond to homosexual men differently than obviously, you know, heterosexual black men. They be like, hell nah, that's some gay shit, man. I already know y'all gonna see that. Y'all gonna be hating on Will Smith. Dude had on red lipstick as a genie, and he was just like, yeah. Alright, I'm about to finish this food, but yeah, that's my review, you guys. I love it. I give it 5 stars, and I will go see it again, definitely. They did a great job, you know. Kudos to Disney, and catch you guys later. Oh, come back. I'm about to post these pictures after I finish eating my food. I got some delicious quesadilla. If you guys saw the movie, comment below. Let us know what you thought about it, and I'll catch you guys later.